An Australian man somehow survived a 14,000-foot skydive even though both of his parachutes failed to open. I'm sorry, what? How is that even possible? I'm gonna fill you in here on IO. Welcome back to InformOverload, I'm Charlotte Dobre. Before I get into this video, I have a question for you. What is something that you've always wanted to do but are terrified of? Write your responses in the comments below. I'm gonna introduce you to Brad Guy, who was 22 years old when he planned to go skydiving with his family in 2013. As the door to his plane opened, the last thing the instructor said to him was, "Any last words?" And Brad replied, "I hope my parachute opens." Well, if that's not ironic, I don't know what is. Brad and his instructor then jumped out of the plane and began their free fall. The first few seconds were euphoric, and the view was amazing. But then, when the parachute was supposed to open, it didn't. They deployed the parachute, but it didn't open, and they definitely weren't slowing down. That's when the panic started. Bill, the instructor, started tugging at the ropes to make the parachute open, but to no avail. The air began violently twisting and turning both of their bodies as they raced towards the ground. The emergency parachute also did not deploy. All Brad kept thinking about was that his family, who were waiting for him on the ground, were about to watch him die. They landed on a golf course at a speed of almost 80 kilometers an hour, or 50 miles per hour, but ricocheted off the ground and bounced into a nearby lake. Amazingly, both of them survived, but not without a lot of pain. Brad said that it felt like someone had ripped his spine out of his body. A group of golfers who saw them fall helped them out of the lake and their harnesses. An ambulance arrived to pick up Brad, and Bill was flown to the nearest hospital. Before the back of the ambulance closed, Brad saw his mother and sister running across the course with tears streaming down their faces. When Brad got to the hospital, doctors told him he had broken his upper spine, fractured his lower spine, torn some ligaments in his neck, and also cracked several ribs. Not only that, but he was suffering from serious psychological trauma and guilt from the trauma he put his family through. Every time Brad closed his eyes, the fall would repeat itself over and over in his head. It took Brad 5 months to be able to sleep properly. He had to go to a therapist who diagnosed him with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and nightmare disorder, all of which were triggered by the skydiving incident. In addition to seeking professional help, he decided to turn his pain into something creative, and he started vlogging. His YouTube channel is called Brad Guy, if you guys are interested. From sharing his struggles, he was able to tackle his inner demons. For now though, Brad hopes to get in touch with his instructor, Bill, who has recovered fully. Maybe talking about the experience with someone who also went through it will help Brad cope. On behalf of IO, we wish Brad a speedy recovery. And to everyone else, don't be afraid to talk about your issues, either to your friends, your subscribers, or to a therapist. The talking cure is real, and Brad's recovery is proof. That is all for now. Thanks for watching InformOverload.